Amanda Sanford, who isn't fond of people, wakes up one day and decides to surprise her family with a spontaneous trip to a house on Long Island through Airbnb. Her husband Clay is a professor, and their two tech-obsessed kids, Rose and Archie, tag along. While shopping at a grocery store, Amanda notices a bearded man stocking up on water and canned goods. Later at the Long Island house, they discover there's no internet, causing a mini-crisis for Rose, who can't watch the final Friends episode. As they unwind at a nearby beach, an oil tanker unexpectedly runs ashore, and disturbed, they return home to find their TV and Wi-Fi not working. That night, as the kids sleep, George H. Scott and his daughter Ruth show up, claiming the house is theirs due to a blackout in the city. Amanda is wary, but Clay lets them stay after George refunds $1,000 in cash. The next morning, Amanda finds unsettling news on her phone about blackouts, hackers, and mysterious symbols. Rose notices more deer on the property, and Clay attempts to seek answers in town, but gets lost without GPS. He encounters distressing scenes, including a woman asking for help in Spanish, and a drone dropping leaflets in Arabic. George goes to check on his neighbor's house, finding it in ruins and a crash site with scattered bodies on the beach. Rose and Archie investigate strange deer behavior, stumbling upon a shed with indented leaves. On their way back, Archie is bitten by a tick. George returns, lying about falling into a pool, and informs Amanda about the plane crash. A shrill noise overwhelms them. George reveals the bearded man, Danny, is a survivalist. Clay returns with a leaflet, hinting at a sinister plot. The family decides to drive to Amanda's sister, but encounters chaos on the highway, prompting a return to George's house. Amidst the turmoil, George confides in Amanda about a possible government conspiracy. Ruth gets provocative with Clay, witnessing odd events like flamingos in the pool. Rose disappears, and Archie's teeth start falling out. George takes Clay and Archie to Danny, who suggests a microwave weapon caused their issues. Amanda saves Ruth from deer attacks. Danny agrees to help Archie in exchange for money, and directs them to a doomsday bunker. George reveals a political clue is underway. Amanda and Ruth witness New York City being bombed, while Rose discovers the bunker. Learning about a war with rogue armed forces, she finds a DVD of Friends and watches the finale. The peculiar behavior of animals in the story prompts questions about its cause. After witnessing the White Lion oil tanker washing ashore, the Sanford family returns to their vacation home, where Amanda and Clay observe a herd of deer in the backyard. Initially, Clay mentions that seeing deer is considered a positive omen in Mesoamerican mythology, but it becomes evident that this isn't a favorable sign. The odd animal occurrences extend beyond deer, with flamingos landing in the pool one night and flocks of birds making appearances throughout the movie. Towards the conclusion, the deer even surround Ruth and Amanda in an unusually threatening manner. While the film doesn't fully clarify the reasons behind this strange animal behavior, various clues are presented. During Clay's trip to town, he stops to search for a cell phone signal, and the car radio briefly broadcasts a warning. We're now getting reports that the fallout from the ongoing cyber attack has led to a catastrophic environmental disaster in the South, impacting animal migration patterns. Although the exact nature of the cyber attack remains unclear, the oil tanker crash on the beach provides a significant hint about events in other parts of the country. Considering that the closest origin for the flamingos is Florida, factors such as oil spills in the Gulf of Mexico and various other catastrophes could be driving animals north to New York. Archie's sudden illness and leave the world behind is likely a consequence of a biological warfare tactic, stemming from intense sound wave attacks and a peculiar bug bite he acquired in the woods. Towards the end of the movie, George reveals a theory suggesting that the disaster is part of a multifaceted plan and clue aimed at undermining America. This plan includes physical attacks on citizens, incorporating the use of sound warfare. Drawing from Danny's reference to a Cuban event involving microwave weapons, where sound-beamed radiation caused people to lose their teeth, it appears that this is the most probable explanation for Archie's mysterious illness. However, the movie introduces other theories as well. The character developments within the Sanfords and the Scotts, particularly focusing on Amanda and Ruth, play a pivotal role in shaping the underlying message of Leave the World Behind regarding human nature. Despite prolonged disagreements, they eventually find common ground in their perspective on humanity, acknowledging that they live a collective falsehood, a deliberate mass delusion to divert attention from their inherent flaws. Initially distrustful and unwilling to share the same living space, the Sanfords and the Scotts realize the necessity of overcoming their differences to collaborate for survival as the crisis unfolds. Rose's fixation on the TV show Friends serves as a thematic and meta-commentary throughout the movie. When George and Ruth arrive, Clay informs Amanda about a former student's book exploring how media functions as both an escape and a reflection, paralleling the movie's role as an entertaining thriller depicting societal collapse, while offering insights into human nature through its characters. Amidst global chaos, Rose's sole desire is to watch the Friends finale to witness its resolution. Conversely, Ruth sees Friends as nostalgic for a time that never existed. In the movie's climax, overwhelmed by the surrounding chaos, Rose seeks refuge in the foreign house, indulging in comfort food and discovering a bunker with a vast DVD collection, including Friends. While others learn of New York City being bombed, Rose immerses herself in the Friends finale, titled The Last One, providing inspiration for the Part 5 title just before the credits roll. Much like the characters using Leave the World Behind as a form of escapism while the world crumbles, the film itself can function as both an escape and a reflection, depending on the viewer's engagement.